Gray and Juvia, one of the most popular ships when it comes to the show that is Fairy Tail. But what is it about Gray and Juvia that makes me love the couple so much, that loves Juvia, that loves Gray, that just sees them perfectly together, even though there are certain things that people don't really understand about why Juvia and Gray are probably one of the most underrated couples in Fairy Tail. Let's not forget, there's only a few couples when it comes to the show, because the show is mainly about the main couple, which is Lucy and Natsu. Then you got Erza and Gajio. Then you got Erza and Gajio. Erza and Jellal. Gajio and Levy. And then Juvia and Gray. Now, when it came to Juvia, Juvia first appeared as a member of the Elemental Four in the Phantom Lord arc. And she ends up going against Gray. Gray, her current love interest right now, and at this current moment, we're seeing this Gray. And we're seeing these two again go against each other. And Gray's like, I don't really want to have to fight you, but I have to defend my guild. I have to defend Fairy Tail. I will fight you. Gray's like, I don't want to fight you. Juvia's like, I don't want to fight you either, but I must do what I do because, you know, like, the rain is pouring. And at this time, Juvia's mind was just like, oh, the rain's depressing. Juvia's just very depressing and everything like this. And it came to a point where as they're fighting, Gray started, like, talking up Juvia, like, hey, you shouldn't be so depressed anymore. You know, like, you should be, you know, like, happier about yourself because you are a good person, or, you know, like, you have the potential to be a good person. And Juvia kind of got smitten with Gray in that moment, and Juvia kind of just like, hey, walked away, and Gray's like, where are you going? And it ended up being into a battle where Gray ended up winning, but he won in the most awkward way, because as he captured Juvia, his hand was on her boob. And it was one of the most embarrassing situations for Juvia, but from that moment, Juvia never had eyes for anyone but Gray. If I had to say one of the most loyalist female characters in every single version of anime, Juvia has to be on that list. Like, if I had to say, like, top 10, top 20, Juvia has to be top 10. Hinata's also there because Hinata never had any feelings for Naruto. But Juvia's love for Gray was always there. Like, it was always very shown and very well known. Everybody in the guild knew that Juvia only had eyes for Gray. And then there came a certain point where another guild person started having feelings for Juvia. Gray kind of got jealous, and it kind of led to a rivalry between them. But then he started to realize, the guy from the other guild realized that Juvia loves Gray, and Gray does have feelings for Juvia. Even though it may not be that known, Gray still had some feelings for Juvia. Then comes day 413. If you guys do not know, that is an episode in Fairy Tail where Juvia was celebrating the 413th day since she met Gray. That's how much she loves Gray. 413 days. Most people can't remember. Most people in the real world can't remember anniversary in real life. And Juvia remembered 413 days. That's over a year. Over a year. Juvia has counted every single day that she is every day since she has met Gray, and 413 days. It was just one of the most random days. But she ended up making him a scarf that ended up he wearing at the, you know, like, he was kind of having a bad mood. But then once, you know, like, Erza talked to Gray, and, you know, like, Erza kind of talked to Juvia and said, like, hey, you should make this. You should give this to Gray, and she ended up giving it to him. He ended up not accepting it at first and kind of hurt her feelings, but then he came back and started looking for a scarf once he threw it away, and then he ended up starting wearing it, and we're seeing Erza just look at Gray while he's wearing it, Erza just smiling like, see, he does like her. And it's just moments like these that just made me happy to see Gray and Juvia together, because the character development between these two together as a couple is very nice, because obviously certain moments throughout the season, there's certain moments with the Unison raid, from his water going, her water going perfect with his ice. It just makes it perfect with the Unison raid. And then when it came to a certain moment, there was a point where Gray or Juvia was making buns for Gray, and she literally handed it to him, and it was Gray buns, and Gray's like, no, I don't really feel like eating that. It has my face on it. And then Juvia's like, I thought you might say that, so here's some Juvia. Here's some Juvia buns. And Gray's like, you set me up. And I was like, yes, she did. And keep in mind, Juvia is not that dumb. Juvia is a very strong individual character in Fairy Tail. It's just that her love for Gray blinds her most of the time, and I still love Juvia as a person in general, because Juvia is in my top 5 anime waifus list when it comes to this. Like, Juvia is a definite person I would love. If I could bring one anime character to the world, Juvia would definitely be one of it. And I've already made a video about that, talking about between Juvia or Miku, which one I would bring into the real world. And I think I ended up choosing Miku because Juvia kind of has feelings for Gray. So that's certain simple point standpoint. But then we come to Season 9. Season 9 and the battle where Gray and Juvia ended up having to fight each other. And Gray and Juvia, their love for each other was well known at this point in standpoint. Like, Juvia's love was a little bit higher than Gray's, but Gray's was like right here, Juvia was like right here. So it was getting up there. Gray's love for Juvia was coming up. And then during the fight, Gray and Juvia didn't want to kill each other. For the second time, they battled against each other. So they both decided to kill themselves. They both stabbed themselves in the chest to kill both of themselves. And the next moment we see Gray waking up. And Gray's like, hey, I should be dead. I stabbed myself. I killed myself. I should be dead. And then we see Juvia's body on the ground, pumping blood into Gray's body. And Juvia secretly mastered a blood transfusion spell to keep Gray alive in case he would ever come, if ever it would come to the point where Gray's about to die. That is just dedication to the guy that you love. You secretly mastered a blood transfusion spell to keep your guy alive. You can't deny how much Juvia really cares about Gray. And at this standpoint, I believe that this is the switch in his head that literally started making Gray like, hey, maybe I should start like appreciating Juvia more. Maybe I should start like taking more care about Juvia and like appreciating her feelings that she has for me, and like the dedication that she has to being my number one support basically. Because there was also a moment where Gray turned against Fairy Tail, and then the first person that was defending him, saying like you're innocent and proven guilty, was Juvia. Everybody was shit talking Gray like you're a traitor and everything like this, and Juvia's like, no, I don't believe that happened. I believe Gray. I will defend Gray. And Juvia always defended Gray, leading up into the last season, which was the Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest first season, where Gray and Juvia are battling against Alderaan Seeds, and Alderaan Seeds ended up capturing Juvia, and Alderaan Seed ended up saying, what is this girl to you? And then Gray says, she is my will to live. And I can tell you from this, reading the manga, I have all for 7 books, reading the manga and seeing that, waiting for that shit to get animated, I was hyped. Because the moment that Gray says that, Juvia lost her mind because she was so happy. And this is just more of an indication that Gray and Juvia will be together. And then they threw the biggest teaser out there. They put us in a different world where we see Gray go to, what was it? I think it was called Fairy Nail, and we can see like Juvina, which is like an alternate personality of Juvia, and then we can see like Gray's like, hey, like once I come back to Fairy Tail, I need to talk to Juvia, and like I'm not ready to be with her until I can know I can protect her. So he does want to be with Juvia. He just wants to be able to like be strong enough to protect her, which is very understandable. But then in the last couple episodes, they decided to throw out there a child that Gray and Juvia's alternate personalities in a different world had. And they were just like, yeah, you see, Gray and Juvia are going to be a couple, so here, we're going to just tease you. We're going to just tease you with their possible child and what it may look like. And Gray was just like, yeah, I want to take it back home. And I can bet you this. Had Gray taken that child back home, Juvia would have lost her mind. Because Juvia would have been like, you want to take care of a child with me? Of course, Gray-sama. Of course, Gray-kun. Oh my god, like, there's just so much I fucking love about Juvia and Gray. Like, they are legitimately perfect for each other. And I know a lot of people, when it comes to Fairy Tail, they talk about the other main couples, like Erza and Jellal, Lucy and Natsu. But I really gotta say this at the end of the day. Gray and Juvia are definitely Fairy Tail's most underrated couple.